So, y'all got to know us all semester where Gateway Communications is our campaign proposal for the Big Buddy program.
Big Buddy is a nonprofit organization that focuses on supporting youth who are economically, educationally, or emotionally disadvantaged. The organization creates opportunities for the community to help empower and guide these children to brighter futures through the use of volunteers, group activities, and work programs. Big Buddy's vision for all children to have a positive role model, leading him or her to make good choices, prompts the organization to constantly search for new activities and opportunities to provide for these children and their mentors.
Y'all heard us talking about it all semester as well. Our huge key public were the legacies. And just a little recap, these were individuals that were once a part of the program in one way or another, but are now adults. And after talking with Ms. Gay in one of our first weeks, found out that it was Big Buddy's desire to really reach out to these legacies and bring them back to the organization to participate once more. So unlike past campaigns where it was a lot of really just trying to figure out how to get the legacies back in, we really tried to figure out what it was that caused them to kind of steer away from the Big Buddy program. So once we figured this out through our survey, it allowed us to recognize the greatest way to motivate these individuals to participate once more.
So based on our research and the distribution of our surveys, we concluded with these results regarding involvement for the Big Buddy program. As you can see, we found that 85% would be agreed that they would be willing to donate or time and or money, to the Big Buddy program. Also, 75% are aware of how to get involved with Big Buddy. 20% have volunteered for at least 2 Big Buddy events in the past. So regarding social media usage, we asked questions about their social media accounts. 37% do use social media frequently. 74% prefer Facebook to any other platform on social media. And 63% said that the Big Buddy news being put out was easily accessible. And also just some general information about the demographics who took our survey. We found that 60% were Christians and have a strong religious background in Christianity. 40% were married. And 80% are currently employed. What we found was one of the most interesting findings from the survey was that 93% were actually women who took the survey. So we discussed this concept with Ms. Gay in our last final meeting, and that with these findings, this is going to allow Big Buddy to move on in the future, knowing who they're appealing to right now, and knowing, with primarily women, primarily those who are married, so head of the household. And so we know currently who they're appealing to and who they need to communicate more and target more in the future.
All right, so heading into our goals, objectives, and strategies and tactics. So our overarching goal for this entire campaign was to help Big Buddy in reconnecting with those legacies, kind of bring them home and bring them back. So our main goal, I guess, was reconnecting with the legacies and getting them back to donate and volunteer. All right, so our first objective is acceptance. And our objective for acceptance is to gain positive advocacy for Big Buddy by 20 legacies by December 31st of 2016. And so basically what this means, we are sending out a legacy questionnaire. And so our big goal is to have 20 responses by this time next year. And so Big Buddy can use this content to post on their social media pages and post on their websites. And the communication strategy that we're using to obtain this objective is the legacy questionnaire that asks questions about when did you participate in Big Buddy, what advice can you offer to kids who are currently considering participating in Big Buddy, and questions like that, open-ended questions like that.
So these are 2 graphics that we've created to help educate not only the legacies, but also the people who maybe don't know about Big Buddy program. This is right here, this is our infographic. So they had one already, but it was a little out of date, so we drew from websites like the governmental census and Baton Rouge crime statistics to just put a couple of numbers on a sheet that can show people why it's so important to be involved in Big Buddy and to volunteer and come back as legacies. And then at the bottom over there is a brochure, just kind of going over how donations can help, also how you can volunteer and mentor, and it also has the contact information, so it's really easy, all of the information's in one place to be able to go and contact Big Buddy.
So we also designed 5 banners for Big Buddy's Day of the Mentor event. This is an annual event that Big Buddy does, and that their child participants go with their mentors to their day at work, so they can kind of see like what they do for a living outside of, you know, when they're mentoring the kids and doing things with the kids. So we did work one-on-one with our Big Buddy communications contact, Carl Dion, on these banners, and the process actually took longer than expected because it was complete learning experience for us, just kind of like not necessarily creating the coolest banners that we could think of, but like sticking to the primary colors and sticking to the overall message of the event. So that was definitely a learning experience in how important, you know, visual designs for an overall event are.
Yeah, I guess just one point about this too is these were the different themes regarding the event, but one thing we wanted to make sure to do is try, because these were large banners being printed, was still kind of keep it as though these could be banners to be used at future events. Obviously the one where it's covering like Data Mentor, that could possibly be one for next year, but certain ones with Leave Your Mark and Unlock Potential and the general Big Buddy program one, we're really keeping the theme of Big Buddy itself. They could be used for events later on.
Alright, so our digital tactics included the legacy questionnaire I mentioned earlier. So the really important part about this is that these are open-ended questions, and so it's not just kind of yes, no, agree, disagree. These are questions that are opportunities for legacies to really tell their story about Big Buddy, share their favorite memories, how did they hear about Big Buddy, and as I said earlier, what advice can you give to a child participating with Big Buddy? So this is really an opportunity for legacies to say, you know, had I not participated in Big Buddy, I wouldn't have had an opportunity to do this. And because I participated in Big Buddy, I now work at LSU Athletics or something, things like that. And then we also created the infographic that Caroline talked about earlier, and so this is also going to be used for digital purposes. The infographic can be easily posted on social media as well as the Big Buddy website.
So our second objective is action. So it's for Big Buddy to have an effect on action, specifically to increase fundraising by $5,000 by December 31st of 2016. So our strategy was to host an event for Big Buddy and the Baton Rouge community to raise funds for the program. And through communication, through digital media, local media, printed flyers, just to encourage the Baton Rouge community to come out, attend the event, and donate to Big Buddy. So our event, I feel like, was a really big success. We all worked extremely hard, and I think we all had a really good time. Our primary goal was to fundraise for Big Buddy, Youth Oasis, Children's Shelter, and Capital Area Special Olympics of Louisiana. It included food trucks, a silent auction, tin roof beer, and more. Our predicted number of guests was about 150 people, and we far exceeded that, which was really exciting. So we had about 212 people show up, and we raised over $10,000 for the 3 nonprofits.
Some of the traditional tactics that we used, a fundraising letter that informs past donors, volunteers, mentors, and parents of how Big Buddy continues to change for the better and encourages these individuals to donate their time or money toward the organization. We also sent out a press release for the event. All 3 writing directors worked together to help create the release to promote the amenities of the event and the causes of all 3 nonprofit organizations. And we also sent out a media advisory too as well. Again, just promoting the event and including all the amenities that were going to be for the event.
And then one of our later tactics we were able to do, which was incredible to happen, we were able to pitch the story of the nonprofits and the event itself to the WBRZ Breakfast with Tune-In crew and Jeff Johnson at Classic Hits 103.3. This was the Friday before the event. I mean, most of us were already there, so y'all know a lot about it. But the best part about this is after talking to a lot of guests at the event and hearing feedback on social media, a lot of people found out of this event from those stories, especially posting them on social media, and that was just 2 days before the event. So what we got from that is both of these outlets were incredible for the program to continue using to promote their future events.
Alright, so tying back into the event, we created a Facebook page for Raise the Roof through the Big Buddy page, just because Big Buddy does have the largest following. And so on the Raise the Roof page, we continually posted updates, such as photos with a really awesome countdown that Tori designed. And we also posted photos of some of the silent auction items, saying just, hey, you know, here's a sneak peek of what we're going to offer at the event. And posting pictures of tin roof and all that kind of stuff to just kind of get people interested in coming to the event. And our other digital tactic was our overall social media strategy. And so what we really want to do for Big Buddy via social media is to give them more storytelling opportunities. And so this really ties back into the legacy questionnaire. So when the legacies submit their answers to these questions, they're going to be an opportunity for Big Buddy to show people that, hey, this is how awesome we are, basically, and how we can really impact the Baton Rouge community in a positive way. And then in addition to just basic storytelling opportunities, social media users are going to be able to come away from the Big Buddy social media pages without having any question about what Big Buddy's goals in the Baton Rouge community are and what their purpose is.
Some future recommendations: maintain a mutually beneficial relationship with legacies by sending personalized emails that make legacies feel that they are an integral part of the organization. These emails should be sent seasonally to inform legacies of Big Buddy milestones and volunteer opportunities. We also want to maintain contact with local businesses that Gateway contacted for Raise the Roof. While not every business was able to contribute to the event, there were a lot of them that did want to contribute in the near future. And we also want to keep updating the legacy databases to reflect changes in contact information, and because some of the current email addresses were invalid.
And to tie it all together, the intention of this campaign is really to reconnect with those Big Buddies legacy, but throughout 2016. So as I was explaining, we spent a lot of the semester figuring out why they were kind of like steering away from the organization. So it was a lot of figuring out how to bring them back. And we really do believe that if Big Buddy does implement some of these tactics we've laid out for them, it will greatly increase that participation. But we've enjoyed every part of this semester, especially working in class. I can say we're all a little nervous at first because there's 15 of us. So I remember when we were hearing that the blog video where they talked about how it was hard getting 7 people. I just kept thinking, imagine 15. But it really came together. We're all really excited. We've had a blast working with Big Buddy and Miss Kayla Mack, and we thank you for that.